Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this broadcast on the 7 Missions Team Running Challenge that is taking place this week all over Asia, Australia and Europe. It's been an eventful week with some crazy events taking place yesterday, especially during the OTSO Hour Challenge, where the Malaysian team of MKRC Boleh has taken over the lead in our 7 Missions overall ranking at the expense of the T8 Kings of Quarantine. Even though the T8 Kings of Quarantine have been the fastest all week, led by Jeff Campbell, who is also leading the Cheetah Cup as a result. But the MKRC boys, they had a specific strategy. They focused on speed plus vertical elevation gain, and that really helped them to boost their bonus yesterday during the OTSO Hour, because 3 of their 4 runners, they did more than 500 HM, that's elevation gain, and as a result, they got a triple bonus of 15 minutes. That's 45 minutes of bonus on top of the running time that they achieved during this 1 hour. So that was a fantastic performance by the guys, MKRC Boleh, and clearly they caught the T8 guys by surprise. So we're looking to an exciting finale of the 7 missions in the coming days. Today is a 5K stage again. It's the shortest one, just like Tuesday. I think for many it will be a bit of a cool down session today. Times were already set on Tuesday by the elite runners, so I think most of the elite runners, they will not do too much today. They will probably try to save their legs for what's coming next, and then especially on Saturday the UGLO half marathon, and on Sunday the T8 marathon, because you will need to be fresh, especially if you want to win this competition, of course. And there is a challenge for the T8 guys. So the people in Malaysia have shown that it's not only about fast running, but also about balancing it with enough elevation gain. Before we go on to a couple of interviews that we have Jeff Campbell on the show, by the way, and also Richard Akol from the Filipino Library Sports GM team. And we also go back to Tuesday, because there we had a live session that did not really go entirely according to plan with Heru Prabowo, the organizer of Mantra Summits Challenge in Malang in Indonesia. And we had also Pablo Diago Gonzales and Philippe Daniel. And we have been able to edit a little bit the video that came out of that live session. And we can provide you with a meaningful talk and interview with those 3 people as well at the end of this broadcast. So there's quite a bit of content coming up. But before we get into that, let's take a quick look at some of the things that happened yesterday, especially. So as I mentioned before, Jeff Campbell has been the fastest runner of the whole week. He was fastest on the 10K on Monday, fastest on the 5K on Tuesday, and yesterday also on the OTSO Hour. As we can see here, Campbell runs 17.86 kilometers in 1 hour. That comes 2 days after his 31:03 on 10 kilometers. As I mentioned, we will be talking to Jeff Campbell after all of this, to hear more about his incredible performances. We all knew he was fast, but I don't think many people knew he was this fast. Then we also have here, this is the triple elevation bonus of the MKRC Boleh team in Malaysia. We have Chris Goodwin, Pierre Victor Morales. We have, I still need to look at the name sometimes, Yakov. Indeed, Yakov is the Russian person in the team, and then we also have Nicolas from France, if I'm not mistaken. So they had a triple elevation bonus yesterday, 15:49 HM and 40.06 kilometers nonetheless. So that's a fantastic run that they did yesterday. And as a result, as you can see here, that took over the lead in the 7 missions overall ranking. With 50 minutes 47 now. The T8 Kings of Quarantine are they are actually more than half hour behind, so that's quite a bit of catching up to do. They have the opportunity. 2 of the guys are in Hong Kong, plenty of hills there. Alessandro Sharpa is in Italy, in Lombardy, his home region, also plenty of mountain there. And Glenn McFlynn is actually in Switzerland, also plenty of mountains, but he has one additional issue. It's wintertime in Switzerland and it has been snowing. So that's quite tough for him. In third place, we have the team Imodium. So that's the Australian team based in Sydney. Then we have Uglo +8. That's a team of Hisashi Kitamura and Rie Sigaya, amongst others. Asuka Nakajima, of course, as well. And also Yuta Matsuyama. Then we have TRT FPT. That's the second Australian team. Then we have BSK Off-Piste, Tokyo United, MKRC Pace Out as the second team of the MKRC club in Malaysia. Then we have the Nomad Wolf Vertical Club. And in 10th place, after yesterday's OTSO Hour, we have the Korean team, CP Namsan Trail. We also have a High Trail 9 Peaks Ulju Mountain Goat Trophy in this 7 missions. And we finally been able to put up the provisional standings in this ranking. This is for the individuals who have been accumulating the most elevation gain over the week. And this is a surprising top 10, actually. Or let's say it's a top 10 that, of course, does not really mirror the Cheetah Cup top 10. In first place, from the Tokyo United team in Japan, we have Hang Yu with 1,213 meters of elevation gain so far, slightly ahead of Nicole from the Nomad Wolf Vertical Club. Then we have Linil Martinez. She's one of the Filipino runners in Malaysia who has been on the podium once or twice in Asia Trailmaster Championship races. We have another Filipino, Christian Viloria, from the Bandilang Pinas team. That's a team that was set up by Fridolin Alberto, and that also includes John Ray Onifa, but John Ray has not been active so far. We are trying to find out what the reason for that could be. He signed up as part of the team. Then we have Pierre Victor Morales of the MKRC Bola team. We have Paul from the Tim Hore team in Indonesia, Laraila from the Bakakai runners, Yakov Kozlov, MKRC Bole, Chris Goodwin, MKRC Bole, and Jovelin Kalingasan, also from Bandilang Pinas. This is the Cheetah Cup ranking for men. Jeff Campbell leads with 150 points so far. Kitamura is second. Ryan Whelan, Malachi Kerwin from Ireland, based here in Singapore. Then we have Gary Mullins from Australia. He's a coach in Sydney, as we understand. Brian McFlynn, previously I said Glenn McFlynn, I'm sorry for that. It's Brian McFlynn, of course, known as a very fast road runner in Hong Kong. Part of the T8 team. Alessandro Sherpa is in 8th place in the Cheetah Cup. Nicolas Terrien. Stephen Dundon, also well-known Australian from the MKRC Pace Out team. He's a previous winner of Ijen Trail 70 kilometers in Indonesia. Then we have Chris Goodwin, Joe Barker, Richard Alcombe, who will be on the show a bit later on as well, who've been very fast also, actually. Did not expect him to run 5K below 20 minutes, as you can see, 19 minutes and 32 seconds. So that's very good. Yesterday, he backed it up with a 1 hour OTSO Hour, and he did 13.5 kilometers in that one. So Richard is clearly in very good form. Yuta Matsuyama, then from Korea, Yong Jong-soo, Pierre Victor Morales, Tim Lindon, Jeffrey Budin from Malaysia, and Tomohiro Mitsukoshi are the other runners who have already scored points for the Cheetah Cup for men. Tomohiro Mitsukoshi is injured, so he's not as fast as he would like, but nevertheless, he's taking part in the 7 missions as part of the Tokyo United team. That also includes Carol Fuchs. And Carol Fuchs is in top shape again, as we also found out today, actually, here on Thursday, because she set a very fast time below 20 minutes on the 5K, and that was 2 minutes faster than 2 days ago. But Vanja Knops is at the moment, just like Jeff Campbell, unbeatable in the Cheetah Cup for women. She has already collected 150 points as a result. Michelle McAdam from Australia is in 2nd place, just ahead of Cave Carty, also from Australia. Ria Sugaya, she took a day off yesterday and has dropped down in the Cheetah Cup to 4th place. Carol Fuchs is 5th and might move ahead of Ria Sugaya, actually. We will have to see if Ria is still running tonight, because Carol went faster than Ria 2 days ago. Asuka Nakajima is 6th. Then we have Robin Bruins, Seswael, who has been going very well also this week, with, amongst others, a 43.24 on the 10K on Monday. Obona is the fastest female runner in Korea on this 7 mission on this 7 mission event. Then we have Kate Gamartin, Sophie Brown, Chantel Smith, Kate M, Tahira Naimunisa, who is back in action also after a nasty cycling accident. So we're great to see that Tahira is back running, and she's even going quite well also. Then we have Bronwyn Small, Cécile Douard, Jenny Hollows, and Linil Martinez. And that's all for all the rankings and the standings and the results so far. I think it's high time now that I become a little bit more quiet and we pay attention to Jeff Campbell, Richard Akol, Heru Prabowo, Pablo Diago Gonzales, and Philippe Daniel. Okay, Jeff Campbell, ladies and gentlemen, is here on our show of the 7 missions this evening. Jeff has been flying throughout the whole week, and I think has many of us amazed at how fast he can actually run. We all knew that he is very fast, of course. We have seen him winning the Tahura Trail in Bandung twice, and we have also known him from other big performances on the trails in Hong Kong and elsewhere. But here on the road, he ran, for example, 31 minutes dead on 10K. Jeff, how did you do that?
It helped that the weather was nice and cool. We have a cold spell here in Hong Kong, and also I have a fair bit of rest in my legs. So haven't had too many races, obviously, or even hard sessions. So I've just been putting in regular mileage, and I guess the legs are feeling fresh this week and ready to fly.
Okay, that's fantastic. But 31:03. I think was the official time. Is that your personal best also, or is that even faster?
I haven't run too many proper 10K road races. I think my PB during a race is about 33 minutes. That was during a fairly hot weather race. I think it was above 30 degrees. So I knew that I could go a little bit under that, but hadn't really tested it out.
2 minutes is quite a little bit under that. It's amazing. May I ask what kind of shoes you were wearing?
I was wearing the Vaporfly Next Percent, so the same racing shoes that I wore for Berlin about 18 months ago. So those are my favorite sort of fast road running shoes.
So in your experience, they really help runners to go faster as well, or what do you reckon?
I think the Vaporfly is a fantastic racing shoe for the roads. You know, a lot of the actual elites at the marathon and other distances use it. It's just a really nice light shoe that gives some energy return. But honestly, for the road running, any of the shoes with the carbon fiber inserts, you know, whether it's the Carbon X from Hoka, New Balance has an offering, really a game changer for the roads. Wouldn't be surprised to see more of them coming out on the trails pretty soon as well.
Yeah. So would you reckon that the difference between the Nike Vaporfly and the other brands has narrowed down now in the meantime?
Yeah, I think different horses for different courses. It's some people might like the Hoka, has a little bit more cushioning, a little bit more weight as well. Probably a more comfortable ride. One issue with the Nike Vaporflies, it's a very narrow shoe. So if you have anything technical at all, even just sort of going from the curb onto the road, you need to be a little bit careful. It's a bit wobbly.
Okay. All right. Back to the 7 missions. So the 10K, that was already last Monday. On Tuesday, you did the 5K in 15:19, which is also very fast. And then yesterday, you did the 1 hour. You run 17 kilometers and 860 meters in 1 hour, which is also quite astonishing. Yeah. So what is amazing as well is that you recover very fast from all these efforts.
Yeah, especially considering my age, you know, as you know, I'm an older runner. So
but you still go faster and faster. So this still seems to be making progress, right? Year after year.
Yeah. Well, so the recovery, it hasn't been too bad this week. I think that even though these are fast efforts, you know, the 10K takes a bit over half an hour, 5K a little over 15 minutes. The recovery time is a lot shorter than, you know, for a full marathon or a 50K or 100K race. So as long as you get a good night's sleep and watch out for any little niggles, I think the body can recover from those efforts a lot faster than most people realize. Although that said, I did feel in the last couple of kilometers of the 5K, and even in the last few Ks last night, a little bit of the lead in the legs. So you can still feel it.
It's understandable, yeah. How much is it? Because you're running in the evenings, right? Every day. So does it help you as well that you already have like a benchmark usually set by Hisashi Kitamura? Because he's running in the mornings.
Yeah, so especially last night, I think it helped, and I wasn't chasing Hisashi, I was chasing Ryan. So Ryan had a fantastic effort earlier in the day in Hong Kong, and I think he was at a 17.5, 17.6, and I knew that was going to be the what I had to beat. So yeah, it was helpful. I didn't want to run last night's effort any faster than I needed to. So it was nice to have that benchmark.
This was actually my next question. Ryan Whelan, he's been second fastest most of the week. And he's also in Hong Kong, and he's part of your team, the T8 Kings of Quarantine. Yes. I was actually wondering if you were running together by any chance, but apparently not. So he's running earlier than you.
Yeah, so I mean, we have different jobs. So my job keeps me in the office most of the day, where he's able to usually sneak out in the morning or at lunchtime to get out. He's been doing most of his runs at Happy Valley, which is one of the few tracks that are open. It's actually a horse racing oval, but they have an athletic track that runs around the outside, so you can get nice consistent pacing going around the oval. But last night they were actually having the horse races. So they by the time that I got to the track, it had been closed, and I had to go to Bowen Road, which is a sort of a fitness path in the mid-levels area, and I've done speed work on that. It's a popular sort of place, but it's about a 4 kilometer sort of out and back stretch that you can repeat.
I see. Yeah, you know that in some places, elite runners have been racing horses already, right? So they didn't give you that opportunity yesterday.
No, I mean, maybe the punters would want to play some bets. I think the horses would probably have me.
Okay. Ryan Whelan, actually, yeah, he's pushing you as well, I guess. Is he kind of a training partner sometimes, or is there a kind of a relationship between you two as runners?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Ryan is a good friend of mine. We're part of the Joint Dynamics Gone Running elite team here in Hong Kong. So we do strength training together every once in a while. We do lots of runs together. He's like me, started out doing the shorter distance stuff and has progressively gotten into the longer distances. Fantastic athlete, really strong athlete.
Yeah, we got to know him a bit better last year, just before the lockdowns in the UTKC race in Thailand, Koh Chang, which took place at the middle of February last year. It was still a points race, and Ryan won the 70 kilometers, and I think that was his first official victory in the Asia Trailmasters circuit.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a pity, that then the pandemic happened and we didn't get to see Ryan or you again. And I'm mentioning you because, of course, you won the season opener last year again in Bandung, Indonesia, Tahura Trail. This weekend, it's 1 year ago. Yeah.
I know.
So is the 7 missions kind of because you're clearly in top shape at the moment, is that just coincidence, or are you really always aiming to be in good form in January?
No, I mean, I didn't think I was in particularly good form. I do think the cold weather is making things look a little bit brighter than they otherwise would be. This year has been so disruptive. So normally by January, the fall racing season in Hong Kong is well underway. And by the time ATM starts up for the year, I have lots of races under my belt and am quite sharp. This year, I hadn't raced anything proper since March, I think was the last King of the Hills in Hong Kong. and just haven't had much structure in terms of my training. So I've still been getting the regular mileage in, maybe doing between 60 to 90 kilometers a week. Some weeks, maybe a little bit more, but very little speed work, very little hill repeats, just kind of going out there and putting in the time on feet. If I thought the trail racing was to start up soon, I would have been in different shape, I think. Probably a little bit more vert in the legs and ready for the trails.
I see. Because I guess in Hong Kong there is still no possibility for any events, right, in the near future?
It's not looking likely. So they still have quite strict limits on group gatherings. And I think that's going to last into the summer, and then it gets too hot for racing here in Hong Kong during the summer. So I think a lot of people are looking at the fall as being sort of the earliest probable time for racing. I'd love to race elsewhere, but as you know, travel restrictions are difficult.
Yeah, exactly. So the fall will be very busy. Hopefully, let's put it this way. We're all hoping that the second semester, and then especially August, September, and onwards, will be one event after the other. So will we see Jeff Campbell also going for the Asia Trailmaster Championship title? Or do you think it will be difficult this year?
You know what, Chris? If I can, I would love to. In fact, it was what I wanted to do last year, and it was really disappointing. I mean, last year was just a difficult year in so many ways. But for me, I was looking forward to visiting so many new places, participating in so many of the amazing ATM races, and just wasn't able to. So if I can do that in the second half this year, absolutely. And I'll just try to stay in as good a shape as I can until that time, and then try to obviously ramp up the training as we get a little bit closer to then.
All right, that sounds excellent. We, of course, all hope to see you on the trails in Asia, in several countries. They will be very happy to see you. Now it's still the 7 missions, so will you still be running the second 5K tonight, or are you having a rest day today?
Well, I will put in the participation run for tonight and tomorrow. I'll definitely hold back a little bit. I think that even though I was recovered enough to have good effort last night, certainly could use a couple of days off before the longer efforts on Saturday and Sunday. So I'll run all days, but the 21 and the 42 are going to take a lot out of my legs for sure.
And you will be running both?
Sure. I think for the Cheetah Cup, both are necessary, are they not?
For the Cheetah Cup, they might be necessary. Yeah, of course, you have a little bit of an advantage already in points because you're. But I guess also for the team it might make a difference because your team is a bit under pressure, right? By the Malaysian team MKRC Boleh with a vertical gain strategy.
I think the vertical gain strategy was a lot of calculations were done in the background about whether it makes sense to do fast flat efforts or to ramp up the vert. I think they showed that the vert can pay dividends. So there were a few messages exchanged in our Kings of Quarantine group chat today to sort of make sure that we had a good strategy going forward. But I think it'll probably come down to the wire to be an exciting finish for sure. Yeah,
exactly. That's what we're all hoping for, and it looks like that as well. Alessandro is in Italy, but he has a lot of mountains around him as well.
Looks beautiful.
And Glenn is in Switzerland, but I hear it's snowing there at the moment. So for him,
So he's trying to find places with good footing to run his speed work. He's been doing an okay job, all things considered, for that. So it's good to see the boys in Europe still doing their part.
Okay. All right, Chef, thank you very much again. And we wish you and your team all the best for the coming days on the 7 missions.
Okay. Take care, Chris. Bye-bye.
Okay, our next guest here on the 7 Missions show tonight is Richard Akol from Manila in the Philippines. And he's part of the LBRY team, LBRY Sports, that is, right, Richard?
Yes, it's pronounced library sports.
Okay,
Yeah.
library sports. Okay, sorry. So can you explain us briefly what it is about?
Sorry, the library sports.
Yeah. What is library sports exactly? Can you explain a little bit to the audience? Because I'm sure many
Yes.
people don't know.
Yes. So library sports, we form a club, a running club, which is named Library Sports. So um, we actually uh, came with an idea to form a team. So a running team. In the future, we are also planning to make a cyclist team of cyclists and anything about sports. Yeah. So
Okay.
yep. So it came from library protocol. It's a blockchain.
Uh-huh.
It's something like that. So it's about a video platform like YouTube, and they more on freedom, about freedom of content. So just like sports, we love freedom. We love running outside, nature, and yeah, but it's like enjoying our freedom for sports. So
Okay.
that's why we created Library Sports.
Yeah. So you're actually a bit of an IT expert because you say you're using blockchain technology. That's the latest big revolution, right, in IT?
Yeah, for technology protocol is they are using blockchain, library incorporated.
Yeah. Okay. So you have a team with a couple of other grandmasters in Asia Trainmaster. You yourself are also grandmaster. Tin Salazar, Cecile Weil, and John Eruel Okino. Right, the 4 of you are very well-known runners based in Manila. You've been coming to Asia Trailmaster events for a long time, and what we noticed is that you're all running very fast. Yeah. So you yourself, Richard, I just looked it up before we started the chat. You run the 5K on Tuesday in 1932. That's a very fast time.
Oh, sorry. So actually, before during the ultra races, so we are or I am focused on the pacing. So I try to run conservatively during the previous races because it's very long.
Yeah.
Then so the 7 missions. So it's not that long. So 10 kilometers, 5 kilometers, and before I joined the ultra races or ultra running in Asia Trail, I really I really enjoy running short distances because um, I don't care about the pacing or if it is short distance like 5 kilometers. So what I do is I just run as fast as I can and I don't really care about the pacing. So so that's my focus for now. It's all about pushing myself and trying to see how fast can I go for shorter distances.
Yeah. Oh, it's been really great to see. I mean, your times also yesterday, the 1 hour. the OTSO 1 hour. You run 13.5 kilometers. That's very good. It's a very fast pace as well. And also Cécile Wael. I mean, I never realized that she's actually that fast. I mean, we know that Cécile is very strong as a mountain runner, but apparently she's also, I mean, on the 10K, she did 42 minutes. Yeah, so that's very fast. So you guys also, because in Manila it's been tough, right, with the lockdown, and 2020 has been a very hard year. But clearly, you still do a lot of training, no?
So here in Manila, it's still under GCQ, but it's not that it's not really locked down now. So we can still run on some areas. So like the UP Diliman, it's open. It's open from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. So there's as long as you follow the protocol, just use a mask, or sometimes we bring face shield so we can run. So
do you need to wear the mask? Do you need to wear the mask when you run?
Most of the time when there are guards or security, they tell us to wear your mask. But if you are alone, or if you have certain distances from other runners, I think it's okay to not wear masks. And so especially here in Centris, where Ian and I do our runs, we were allowed not to wear a face shield during run, and even the guards here are okay. So we just pass by with the guards, and they don't tell us to wear your mask or your shield during running, which is a good thing, because it's really hard to run while using a mask plus the face shield.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can imagine. So I'm here in Singapore at the moment, and as you know, I'm also trying to take part in the 7 missions, and I just cannot imagine running with a mask. I mean, you walk around is okay, but running with a mask is I would not be able to do it. Let's put it this way. Okay, Richard, your team is doing very well in the 7 missions. I think at the moment you're in 11th place, if I'm not mistaken, but you're fighting with several other teams for a place in the top 7, right? So coming up on the weekend are the half marathon, the Yuglo half marathon, and the T8 marathon. Does your team have any plans for those 2 big stages?
Actually, we are not sure about probably the 42 kilometers, the T8 marathon. We are going to run it in the flats. So maybe in the spot where we are familiar. But about the Yuglo 21 kilometers, we are still thinking if we are going to do it on a trail or get some elevation, because there is really a big bonus when you have at least 5 meters elevation.
500.
So 500, sorry, 500 meters. So we're going to talk about it later after the 5 kilometer run, or maybe tomorrow. So let's see. We'll just try our best.
Exactly. Yeah, the Malaysian team MKRC Boleh raised a lot of eyebrows, of course, last night when they suddenly posted their results on our dashboard and sent us a message as well. Look at this. So yeah, the elevation bonus served them well, and they took over the lead in the ranking. Thanks to that elevation. Yeah. Okay, Richard, I wish you and your team all the best for the coming days of running still, and maybe talk to you again on the weekend as well. All the best.
Yeah, thank you, Chris, and thank you for the opportunity. And good luck also to your run.
Thanks.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we start over. So welcome to this second episode of our roundup show of the 7 missions. We have a bit of audio difficulties, but they seem to be solved now. William gives a thumbs up, so everything should be okay. So that's good to hear. So finally, I'm Chris. As you know, we have a couple of guests here on the show tonight. We have Pablo Diago Gonzales next to me, very well known on the Asia Trailmaster, and Philippe Daniel, who is a little bit less known, but he's an up-and-comer also in Singapore. Welcome to the show. Welcome to make time for us also this evening. And we also have another person from Indonesia in Malang. We have Heru Prabowo waiting for us.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, good to see you again, even though in the screen.
How is life in Malang at the moment?
Yeah, because of this COVID thing, so a bit limiting the movement because of there is some limitation of movement of the people here by the government. So it's very it's not so much thing we can do, especially doing some outdoor activities. But it's we survive still here.
Yeah, okay. Heru Prabowo, of course, is the organizer of Mantra Summits Challenge, one of the toughest races on the Asia Trailmaster calendar every year. It only takes place in July. What do you think for this year? Is there any hope that we still have for this year? Or are you already thinking about 2022?
We're hoping so much about 2021 that we can do the Mantra Summit Challenge in July as what we are planning before, but all will be depends on the situation because of as you know, the COVID situation in Indonesia is not getting better, but we expect that there'll be some program with vaccination stuff that will be make some situation even better, so that we have a lot of hopes that we can do the MSC 2021 next July.
Yeah. And it is the same weekend as usual, right? So the second weekend of July?
Yeah, that'll be still the same, second week of July. Okay. Yeah.
And I guess given the circumstances, nothing has changed in the program, so it will still be 116 kilometers and 75 kilometers and the shorter distances.
Yeah, that'll be remain the same, but only the 15K that will be maybe upgraded to 21. So that's people. I think people are 15 are too short, and so many people already runners already taken that distance. So I think it'll be good for us to upgrade to 21, so that we're going to offering a different view and routes for the shortest distance for that.
Okay. In Malang at the moment, is it possible to go outside and climb the mountains, or are the mountains closed given the pandemic situation?
Some of them still okay to try run over there, but mountain like Arjuna Welirang was closed. Semeru is closed, but the other mountain like Puta and surroundings Panderman, we still can do some trail running over there.
Yeah, we're having problems with devices. Unfortunately, now we also need to change the angle, and it's going to become a bit more difficult to talk.
Yeah, that's.
But
much
I can mix a little bit later. So, Heru, let's talk a little bit more. So we were just talking about Arjuna and Welirang being well over 3,300 meters high. And we were talking about altitude sickness. So have you ever come across any participant in Mantra who suffered from altitude sickness?
Oh yeah, I think that's especially in the Arjuna. It's quite common actually. Those that are having the mountain sickness on the altitude of the Arjuna, especially during the night time during the very cold weather over there. So it's quite common happening over there.
Yeah. So what about the Indonesian runners in your area in Malang? Because end of 2019, exactly, beginning of 2020, you were also talking about setting up a youth series
in your area. A series of a few short mantra races for developing trail runners in your area.
Yeah.
So do you still have this plan for the coming months?
Actually, the one that already done, we did 3 series of those with the purpose of getting the new talent, the young talents around Malang. What we are trying to do was the mantra sky race. Is quite short race, running and racing to the top of the mountain. We have 3 series at a time, Mahapena, and then Penanggungan and Welirang. So that's so it's quite right that out of 3 series, we found that many new faces, a young one that are joining us, and one of them was the champion for the, I think the first series, the first series in Mahapena, that we never heard and know these guys before. It's very young, like the high school, but I think it's actually that's the plan is trying to use that mantra sky race as like a satellite race around the Mantra Summit Challenge, but everything stopped because of the pandemic. So that we actually are planning some other series for the Mantra sky race, but so everything is stopped for this 2020. So the last one was March 2020, the 3rd series in Welirang. So there is nothing to that.
Is there a possibility to set up events in your area in Malang, just like in Bandung in a couple of weeks? Tahura Trail will be spread out over 2 weeks, and there will be one elite race with maximum 150 runners. Is that a possibility, you think, for Mantra or especially for the youth races?
If we're talking about the Arjuno, running across the Arjuno, similar like what is Tahura doing, like in series of those. So it's if we're talking about the running on the top of the mountain for a few days, I think the logistics wise is quite complicated over there for staying, letting people staying a couple of days in the top of the mountain. But I think if we are going to do something like that, that will be not crossing the top of the Arjuna, but maybe just around the valleys, things like that. I think it is possible to do that, but not till the top of the Arjuna. I think it's a complicated setup that we need to do something like that for certain days, like 3, 4, 5 days. That's I can see that's quite complicated one.
Have you spotted any talented runners in those few races that you were able to do before the lockdowns?
Actually, we identify some of the, especially the young one, and also some of our friends or runners that are running around with us with Mantra. Also, we identify some. But again, with the absence of the race during this pandemic, it's quite difficult to maintain the levels of the fitness, the level of the endurance, things like that. It's what we are doing now. It's just like it's kind of fun running around the mountain, but nothing similar like race itself.
Of course.
Yeah, that's right. So it's I mean, with the certain limitation of the movements, with this pandemic situation, I think need a lot of preparation to do that, especially for the health protocol stuff, and then some transportation requirements prior flight. So I think those kind of things that we need to prepare to come or fly to Jakarta or Bandung from Malang here. But I'll have a look on that. So who knows that I can spare some time.
At least a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel in a way, even though the tunnel might still be long in Indonesia, as we know. So thank you very much for joining us on this show, on this for this interview, and all the best. Stay healthy, take care of yourself, and we hope to see you soon.
I hope so too. Say my hello to all friends here.
For sure. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
So, Vanya Knops, Philippe, and Pablo, I think you know her quite well. Do you sometimes go running with her?
Yeah, I run a lot with her actually. Usually every Tuesday we go on Mount Faber, we run together, and we are part of the same trail runner group. So usually we run like every Saturday and Sunday. The few trails that we have here in Singapore.
Yeah. Is she hard to keep up with, or?
Actually, when she's training, no, she's actually running at a normal pace. But if she wants to go faster, yeah, I mean, she's crazy. I cannot keep up with her. She really goes.
Yeah, Vanya was actually part of the Belgian national cross-country team, junior athletes, before she moved to Singapore. Mm-hmm. So the speed is definitely there, and she clearly has not lost it while she was here. Yeah. She has a very good teammate here. Well, they're not teammates now, actually, and that's good for the competition.
Yeah.
There's another very strong female runner here in Singapore, Ria Sugaya. The question is always, who's the fastest? Do you have any idea? What do you think?
I don't know. It's difficult to say.
Depends on the distance.
Depends on the distance.
Yeah, very fast. Probably in the marathon, Ria will be faster.
Yeah, and I would say that Vanya could be on top as well, potentially on trail, because she's training much more on trails than Ria. I think Ria is more a road runner.
Yeah.
But both of them are great.
Just to put something in context, and of course it's not to put Vanya down, but we met Vanya once in Vietnam, in the Vietnam Jungle Marathon, 70K, and Veronika Vadovichova was also there. Mm-hmm. And everybody was thinking it's going to be a very big competition between the two, but still Veronika was clearly the faster one on the trails.
Yeah.
So it also just shows the incredible talent that Veronika Vadovichova is for trail running. Yeah. Okay. Which brings me then to the next question. Veronika is not taking part in 7 missions because she has other duties at the moment. So what about you guys? I also don't see you on the start list.
Well, we've just been talking about Ultra, which is a race, after rain, climbing long, many hours, night, day. That's what I like. I mean, that's why I go to Mantra every year. Yeah. And these 5Ks, 10Ks events, not my cup of tea.
Yeah,
pretty much the same. I mean, last time we did the ATM 500, then we could do the 125K in one go. So that's what
you did.
That's what we did.
Philippe Daniel, of course, belongs to the winning team of the ATM 500, together with Ria Sugaya and Vincent Casanova and Yannick. Exactly. So those were the 4 runners of the ESK. What was it again?
ESK Marina Looper.
Marina Loopers, yeah. And they finished the ATM 500 on one day, in a single day, and they were the only team to do so. But Philippe, I mean, it was a very tough day, right? And you suffered a bit afterwards.
Yeah. First of all, it was super warm. William was there, luckily, and had a bit of support, but it was really warm. Quite boring because we were just looping around the same area, which was Marina Bay. And it was only asphalt, right? So very flat, so you have to run all the time. You cannot take a rest. I don't know. I had an issue in my on my feet like for a few months after. I don't know why, strain or whatever. But yeah, I recovered since then. Looking forward for the next challenge. Longer distance, maybe.
Longer distance. So you really want to go for the ultra, continue to do the ultra?
Yeah, so my next plan is to do the real RTI round of Singapore, which is 200K. So I might do that either this month or next month, hopefully.
So that's kind of a personal challenge.
It's a personal challenge, yeah.
But you will have a support group, I suppose.
Yeah, a few friends if you want to join as well.
But 200 kilometers here in this climate, that must be... You're not affected by the climate?
You get used to it, I would say. Initially, it's tough. It's also hard when you go back, let's say, to France for a while, and then you come back to Singapore. It's really tough to get back into the climate. after a while, it's fine. In the night is okay. And now we are lucky that it's raining almost every day and the weather is a bit colder. So that would be a perfect weather to do so. But if it's like 30, 32 or more degrees every day, it's really tough.
Okay, and do you have any trail running ambitions?
Yeah, many, but let's see
Okay.
what we can do this year.
After all of this is over, so
Is
there anything that really says, okay, this is what I want to do?
Well, I still haven't done the TDS, for instance, so that's definitely the plans. Rinjani was on my list last year, so that's definitely on the list as well.
So you really like the tough mountain ultras?
Yes.
So how do you compare? Maybe it's a difficult question, but how do you compare technically? Because very often we speak about it's a technical race. Let's say, for example, again, Mantra Summit is a technical race. How do you see this technicality? What makes it so technical?
I mean, because the paths and the trails are not so big enough. I mean, when we go to Europe, the hikers and most of the trails are like lots of users go through. And although there's lots of elevation and technical terrain as well, it doesn't compare to some of these races in Indonesia, whereas some of those trails are almost made up for the race.
Some are just like one that is very famous in Mantra, and everyone has been has a bit of PTSD since it's the one where you have incline on both sides and just a small hole in the middle, for like maybe 10 kilometers. And you can barely step inside, so you have to kind of run on the sides. And the path is also a bit covered, so you have a lot of piece of wood going on the terrain that you actually see a lot of cutting grass. I had my arms that were bleeding at the end of this this path, and I still have some scars on my leg from the terrain there. But it's mainly that I would say that it's in France and in Europe in general. The paths are really clearly defined. Most of them are like GRs and a lot of hikers there, but in Indonesia it's a bit tougher. And the terrain as well. I mean, again, if you go on Rinjani, it's volcanic terrain. Even if there is a lot of hiker, it's like sandy, so you take a step up, you two down. It's a bit tougher, unstable terrain.
Okay, Pablo, what about yourself? I hear that you're doing quite a bit of cycling these days.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of gone back to my roots. I mean, I've always been a mountain biker. Actually, a couple of weeks, it'll be 25 years since I did my first race. And I've done a race at least every year since, more than 1 year.
Yeah.
And for no special reason, I started cycling with friends, and it's social, and I've enjoyed it. So I've been doing a little bit more cycling. Maybe I'll do some ultra cycling events. That's developing quite nicely as well. So it's like 700, 800 kilometers mountain bike races, which challenging enough. I haven't been running at all. I mean, I've been running. I got my diary filling for this year with all the rollovers from last year, and already with our friends from Nine Dragons rolling over again to 2022. So I got plenty of trail races in my diary registered.
Okay, indeed, we all need to wait a little bit what happens, but at least we all have plans already, right? So thank you very much to our guests, Pablo, Philippe. Also thanks to William, to Patricia here on the backside, and also to Jerry Chua, of course, for giving us the opportunity to do this here at Red Dot Running Company.